Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Juan Solo here with ASQD Gaming, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in today for some more State of Decay 2. So in today's video, we're actually going to be going over our second top 5 video of State of Decay 2 on the channel, and today we are going to be talking about the top 5 most requested features that is currently not in State of Decay 2. So we're also going to have a few honorable mentions here at the end, but I kind of wanted to go over this because there are so many features in this game that I've seen, in the comments section and on forums and all over the place, even in Discords, Undead Labs Discord, my personal Discord, where there's so many cool features that are not currently, as far as we know, in State of Decay 2, and we're going to be going over some of the requests from the community, from you guys that have left comments down below, and like I said, a couple of honorable mentions just to kind of go over a few things and just talk about it, because this is not going to be the last State of Decay. I can promise you that. There is going to be a third State of Decay that's probably even going to be more expansive than this game, but they did say that they're going to support this game for a few years at least. So, but this is definitely not going to be the last State of Decay. So get your guys' voices out there, put your stuff out there, make your opinions known to the devs, because they do listen to the community, and maybe some of these features are features that we will see in State of Decay 2 down the road, or maybe even in the sequel whenever that comes. So the sliding in at the number 5 slot, we have Ryan Gosling saying about changing the character's clothes. So he goes on to say here, been looking forward to this for a while. Honestly mentioned quite a few, but I had to choose one. It would be the ability to change your clothes, simply because I think it would be the easiest add-on as an update. So according to, there was actually a Q&A that IGN did a while back with Undead Labs, and they went into details about, one of the questions that somebody asked was, are we able to change our character's clothes? And the devs at Undead Labs went on to say that as of right now, you can't change your character's clothes. So I would almost say that there's a small hint there that this is a feature that might be coming in the future, whether that be in a DLC for State of Decay 2 or just something that they're going to add to the game, maybe down the road a year or so. But don't think that it's not going to happen, guys. This is something that definitely could happen, just because of the way they worded that. If they said that there was going to be no clothing customization or anything like that, they would have just came out and said it. They wouldn't have specifically said that as of right now, there's no clothing customization. You can't change your clothes. So hopefully we'll see that down the road in a future update for State of Decay 2. So sliding into the number 4 slot, we have Nations Rules, and this is a very, very long comment. So real quick, guys, before I read it, if you guys are going to be doing these top 5s and stuff, if you could limit your answer to one thing, because when you kind of drag it out a little bit, it kind of gets multiple things, and I kind of don't know exactly what you're hinting on. So he says, the first thing he says is pets, and he wants to see a map that's in the city with skyscrapers, highways, and everything else as a city, and he kind of goes on and rambles on. So pets would be something, honestly, that I would like to see in State of Decay 2, just because, for instance, you throw I Am Legend out there, he has a dog that's a companion that really helps him get through that. I could see that as being some sort of a way to have a pet or a dog or something at your base that could increase your base's morale. Obviously in Far Cry 5 you had a dog companion and stuff that you could have there, but it's definitely something that I would see possibly being in a post-apocalyptic thing, because that's something that kind of would remind you of the previous world, I guess, kind of tie you back to humanity, having a dog or something at your base to help increase morale. And then maybe it could even be sort of like Far Cry 5's dog, where he can kind of go out and fetch things or whatever and go out in the open world with you, kind of like how the dog was in I Am Legend. But then also you have to worry about the dog, dying or becoming a zombie or something. So that's going to always have to be in the back of your mind if you're going to have pets and stuff in the game. So in the number 3 slot here, we have Red Plague 89. He is actually a member of my Discord. Also, real quick, I'm going to throw this in there. If you guys want to join my Discord, there will be a link down in the description below. But he goes on to say that armor for your survivors get different types of effectiveness for each body piece, with varying degrees of additional health as armor. So I don't know if that's something that they would be able to go into that much detail, just because that would be a pretty big system to try to institute into the game. But I would like to see, for instance, just like a chest armor or something like that, where if you found a chest armor, it would increase the damage you took or whatever, or the first few hits from a zombie wouldn't affect you your health wise or blood plague wise. Your armor would take the brunt of that impact or whatever, because there are actually zombies in State of Decay 2 that are like fully armored, like a SWAT suit. It has a helmet and armor and stuff on, and for some reason the zombies, there's a few unique zombies in the game that can have armor, but our survivors can't. I kind of think that that's something that definitely should be added at some point in the future, because that's really cool feature that definitely could be hit on with State of Decay 2, and definitely help you if you wanted to kind of go out in the open world a little bit more solo. You wouldn't always have to constantly be watching your back, because you are going to have that little bit of buffness with the armor, you know, on your character. So in the number 2 slot, we have the Creepers Alive, saying more urban built up areas, not necessarily a city, but something more substantial than a couple of sparsely placed houses. So there are a couple big neighborhoods, I guess you could call them, in a couple of the maps on State of Decay 2, but there is no real urban environments. You know, there is, you know, just it's a lot of scattered open rural areas, but I would really like to see that, you know, something. I wouldn't say something along the lines of like a I Am Legend with skyscrapers and stuff everywhere, because that would take a lot to make a map like that. You know, for instance, say there was like a post-apocalyptic, you know, State of Decay 2 set in Tom Clancy's The Division's city. You know, that would be pretty cool, but that would take a lot to do, especially because the game is already kind of built from the ground up. But this is definitely something that I wish we will see, or hopefully we will see in maybe the DLC maps or something like that. You know, they already did confirm a 4th map, and then hopefully maybe down the road we might even get a 5th map or even a 6th map or something, maybe with some sort of an urban environment, at least more so than what there is in the current maps, because most of the stuff in the current maps is mostly rural populated, some small areas, you know, lots of stuff. There are lots of buildings and stuff, but you know, not wouldn't say like some a large town or anything like that. But coming in at the number 1 spot, I'm not gonna try to pronounce this name, but we're gonna go the VROHX. That is gonna be your name here, and it says a weather system that has rain and lightning. When the lightning hits, it flashes the environment for a second so you can see the area around and the zombies. This is something that I was so disappointed in when I heard there wasn't going to be like a rain and thunderstorm, you know, feature in State of Decay 2. So there is going to be variations in cloud cover, there's going to be fog, that kind of stuff, but there is not going to be any rain. There is going to be a full day-night cycle, and like I said with some of my previous videos, at nighttime it's pretty legit. It's pretty dark. It can be very scary depending on some situations that you get in, you know, with how dark it is at nighttime. But the fact that they don't have a rain or thunderstorm feature in the game, I really think that's something that I hope that they institute into the game, you know, at some point, because just how he put it right there in that sentence, you know, say you're out at night, you're looting and stuff like that, you're loading up your vehicle or something, and you know, it's starting to thunderstorm out, and you see a lightning flash, and there's just a horde of zombies coming towards you. That is just, those moments in video games are few and far between, and I really think that State of Decay 2 has the whole formula for something cool like that. They would just have to code it in, you know, with a rain effect, you know, day-night cycle, a rain effect, and a thunderstorm. That's just something that, you know, I've seen in a lot of different games. That's, you know, the thunderstorm, it's not a big thing, but it just changes the game. It immerses you more. You know, hear that thunder going off in the distance and stuff, especially at nighttime. It's just gonna make the nighttime even that much more scarier. So that's a feature that I hope to see coming to State of Decay 2. So there are your top 5, guys. Not all of those were like the highest voted top 5s, but those are definitely features that I thought should definitely be in this video. And now we're gonna jump down to a few honorable mentions here. So the first one being Aaron McCoy Douglas, says naturally quiet weapons such as bows, crossbows, and a vehicle such as a bike. So most of the gameplay that we've seen on State of Decay 2 has been mostly like running around guns blazing, which one of the first things that the devs said is the more noise you make, the more zombies you're going to attract. But here is on all of their gameplay pretty much is just going around shooting everything up. I think when the full game comes out, you're going to see a lot of people that are going to kind of go to stealth, but we're missing some of those weapons. Obviously there's a lot of weapons in the games that you can put suppressors and stuff on, but there's been so many people, you know, obviously fans of The Walking Dead, that would love to see a crossbow or at least a bow, any type of bow, and then obviously some vehicles, like for instance a bike. You know, a motorcycle obviously is going to have sound or whatever, but even if you had a bicycle that you could kind of ride around on, that you could move around the map quietly without, you know, attracting a whole lot of noise with zombies and stuff. But these, you know, having a crossbow in the game would be huge. Hopefully it comes in DLC. I honestly don't know why it wouldn't be in the game with all of the Walking Dead fans out there, you know, being that this is a zombie game. But next we have the BHOY in green. Like I said, I don't know if that's an abbreviation that I should know, but I apologize if it is. But it says being able to mod weapons, more like the changing of the sights, magazines, and color, etc., etc. So I don't want to go out on a, like, how do I want to put this? You know, one of the devs did say something to me about that system is a possibility of coming to State of Decay 2. So take that with a grain of salt. you know, take that as, you know, this is something that might come to the game down the road, because, you know, it's sort of there. It's sort of already in the game, but then again, it's not activated. It's not really, you know, quite complete. But this is definitely something that I think would be a really cool feature, because as of right now, you can find a whole bunch of different guns in the game that all have different modifications to them. So you can find a base version of a gun that doesn't have any attachments, and then you can find another version of the gun that has, you know, a sight, maybe an extended magazine, and then on all weapons you can swap out the muzzle attachments, whether that be a suppressor or a muzzle brake and stuff like that. But that's definitely a feature that I would love to see coming to State of Decay 2. And last but not least, guys, I kind of wanted to throw my own 2 cents in here, because this is something that I didn't really see anybody talking about. So ASQD Gaming says the ability to have 4 players in a co-op on the same map, with each of them having their own base. Increase the loot pool so that it would be easier to sustain 4 bases, as well as being able to travel to the other 2 maps at will to loot and explore. So, you know, obviously we have a 4-player co-op system, but the co-op players that are in the host game really can't do anything with the host base, or any other base for that matter, while they're in that game. The one thing that I think would be a really cool feature maybe down the road is make it so that everybody in co-op could have their own base on any given map, and then if they wanted to, they could actually travel over to the other maps just to loot, just to explore, just to loot. They wouldn't necessarily have to move their community or move their entire base over to that separate map. They could just go over there and explore and loot up materials and stuff, because, you know, obviously with 4 bases on the same map, your base requirements, or I guess you could say your materials, your resources, are going to be stretched a little bit thinner, because you're going to have 4 bases on the same map. But that is pretty much all for the top 5 video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys agreed with some of those things that I put in there. If I didn't get to any of the ones that you wanted to see in there, or you guys felt as if I missed some that really need to be in State of Decay 2, make sure to leave it in the comments down below, guys. But like I said, that's all for the video. If you guys enjoyed it, you guys are excited about State of Decay 2 launching in about, what is it, 5-6 days from the Ultimate Edition, and then obviously about a week or 7-8 days to the regular edition of the game. But either way, make sure to slap that like button, and then also, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all things State of Decay 2. I'm going to be covering this game very in depth leading up to and after the launch on May 22nd. But that is all for now, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.